Pathmonk is the AI for website conversions. With increasing online competition, over 98% of website visitors don't convert. The ability to successfully show your value proposition and support visitors in the buying journey separates you from the competition online. Pathmonk qualifies and converts leads on your website by figuring out where they are in the buying journey and influencing them in key decision moments with relevant micro experiences like case studies, intro videos, and much more. Stay relevant to your visitors and increase conversions by 50% by adding Pathmark to your website in seconds, letting the AI do all the work and increase conversions while you keep doing marketing as usual. Check us out on pathmark.com. Hey everybody, welcome back to Pathmark Presents. Today we're joined by Luke Rexing. He's the Director of Sales and Marketing at T-Rex Cookie. Luke, welcome to the show.
Good to be here. Thanks for having
All
me.
right, good to have you. Good to have you, Luke. And maybe we start with the basics. We start with what's T-Rex Cookie and what you guys are all about. And if you were explaining this to a friend over a glass of milk, even, how would you describe what you do?
Yeah, in short, we do big cookies. So this is our frozen dough here, and on the front of the package, that is the actual size. Whoop, that is the actual size of our cookies. So each one is half a pound. We also do 5 pound cookies. So our cookies are kind of designed to be a shareable or memorable experience for people. So that's what we do.
Yeah, I guess that's the T-Rex, right? Reference. I
Yeah,
mean, that's
exactly.
good for a T-Rex.
Yeah, exactly. The arms of a T-Rex are short, so the cookie has to be big, you know.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great branding, and it's really cool, memorable for sure.
Yes.
Um, Now, what do you think? And this is for a cookie, it's a bit of a of a given, but are there any types of customers that are the best fit, do you think, for this cookie? Is it just, I'm assuming, people will love cookies, but when we get into the marketing technicality of it, who's your ICP, what are you marketing to, and what can they get from you, essentially?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's actually something that we are working on right now is kind of segmenting our customer base because at T-Rex we have about 9 different channels of business that we are in. We do wholesale, we do grocery, we do concessions, markets, all of these different channels, and there's a little bit of a different avatar in each one. So we are kind of looking more internally and trying to figure out, okay, who is the best customer for us? And I think right now, the answer to that is probably corporate gifting clients. So, who we're looking at to kind of expand our business right now is people who probably work in HR or kind of provide that gifting experience either for a large corporate employee base or for a company's clients. So, we're trying to send our cookies nationwide. So, being a massive cookie, it does make for a great gift. And I think that the customer journey for both the customer there, the buyer of that cookie, becomes the hero. And then the person receiving the cookies as a gift also gets free cookies. So it's kind of a win-win there.
I like that. And it makes sense, going back to what you said about making it memorable, right? Just like the nature of the brand. Corporate gifting sounds like an interesting avenue to go on. And I'm curious, as far as, you mentioned, you have different channels, right? As far as online channels go, what do you say is the marketing channel that become your go-to for bringing in more attention, bringing in more business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we'll probably get into it a little bit later, but we're switching our website actually over to Shopify like right now. Our go live date is in a little bit less than a month. So we're going to be figuring all of those things out. But as far as targeting towards that corporate client, the corporate gifting clients, I think we want to look at LinkedIn, LinkedIn ads. So that's kind of what I'm thinking is where these avatars reside is on LinkedIn. So we're going to try that out. But we also have Instagram and Facebook. We have pretty decent followings there. So we're probably going to use Meta to run some ads as well as Google. So kind of just going to take a shotgun approach to ads as soon as the website goes live and iterate from there. So yeah.
The full gamut. All right, sounds
Yeah.
good. And you just mentioned you're transitioning to Shopify. It's great. We're a Shopify partner ourselves at Pathmonk, so Maybe we talk about that for a second. What's the transition like at the moment, and how much of a role do you expect the website to play when it comes to that transition, for bringing in new clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the reasons that we're switching over to Shopify is just because our old website, which was on WordPress and WooCommerce, was just feeling a little bit outdated. We had some customer feedback from our wholesale partners who order online saying that it was just a confusing ordering process, and it just got confusing both for wholesale and retail customers. And when I was doing research on what we should do to transition to kind of bring a more modern take to our brand, Shopify was clearly the play. And being that we also do B2B, we're also going to be on Shopify Plus. So the transition has been it's been quite the journey. It's been probably 4 months in the work now. Um, so we are partnered with an agency that's been helping us build out the website, and they've been great. Symmetry Commerce, shout out to them. They've been a great partner to us. Um, and yeah, it's been all over the place. I mean, as far as my role goes, I've been making wireframes on Canva and just like creating the visual side of things. So I was a marketing major in college, and so that was kind of the design aspect was my role, and we're going to be transitioning everything over, and we've got like accounting on the back end that's going to be working in, and all of these different processes. So I'm really looking forward to the launch on Shopify here pretty soon.
Exciting, exciting times indeed. So you can draw from the latest experience, from that feedback that customer gave you about this is cumbersome, and this is me paraphrasing, but
Mm.
um from your experience, what actually makes a website convert instead? Like, are there any favorite tools that you have, any tactics, little frameworks that you work off of, or how do you make a website convert?
Yeah, that's a great question. That's the main reason why we are switching over to Shopify is because I'll just give you a little insight as to our old website. The main call to action, the main CTA button on our website was hours and locations. So clearly that's not a converting website. So one of the main things, easiest tip is put a call to action that is a buy button, essentially, order now. Um, Put that button above the fold. So meaning whenever someone gets to the home page, the landing page, the main page on your website, make sure the button for them to order now is above the section where they would have to scroll past. Like you don't want them to have to scroll in order to see that button. So literally 100% of the people who land on that page are going to see a button that says order now. So that way, there's no way that they can miss it. Whereas on our old website, they'd have to scroll a little bit. It wasn't clear to see where they can even order cookies, which is probably why they're there in the first place. So that's the main thing is put the CTA above the fold, as well as having a bunch of CTAs throughout the website. One of the things that I was doing in my research was just looking at all of our different competitors, even across industries, and just looking at what do they do that's different than us. And one of the main things is that they just have call to actions everywhere. There's order now, or even just click funnels that get people to order now, even in like the our story page. There's CTAs everywhere. So in order to convert, you have to ask people to buy. So that's the main thing is call to actions everywhere. Um, I think another great piece of advice that I found in my research is testimonials. Have great testimonials, ideally above the fold, but if you can't fit them in above the fold, just right beneath it, because people want to be validated in their purchase, and the best way to convince people is to show them that other people had a great experience with your product. So testimonials and CTAs are huge.
That's social proof, those CTAs, clear language, right? That That's
Exactly.
perfect. I mean, that's great advice. It's the basics, right? In a way. You being a marketing major, I don't know if you've ever read "Don't Make Me Think" by Steve Krug. It's a book about websites, right? Essentially, like a user experience. And I had to
Mhm.
read it. I didn't have to read it, but I studied as a UX designer, so that's the Bible in a way of
Yeah.
usability and being able to, and that speaks exactly to that. Layout and just hammer it home. You have a goal, just do it, just keep going, and you
Yeah.
just remind me of that. So I yeah appreciate that focus on the basics. That's really cool. So
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, thanks for that. Maybe we talk about you a little bit, Luke. We switch gears for a second and give us a glimpse into your day in the life, right? What's a typical work day look like for you, and what are the main things you focus on day to day?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that. I was just teaching a class at my alma mater yesterday. So someone asked me, what does a typical day look like? And honestly, my answer was there isn't one. So being that we're a small business, we only have 5 full-time employees. Um, my typical day, we wear multiple hats. So recently, over the last couple weeks, my days have looked like taking product photos. I've been using AI a lot. So I've put together a little studio, set up some cookies, take a photo on my iPhone, upload it to Gemini, create a prompt in ChatGPT for Gemini that says, make this look super professional and website ready, and have AI touch it up and make it look really nice. So that's been the last couple weeks for me. It's also kind of filled with meetings with the Symmetry Commerce, our agency that's helping us build the website. But then there's also posting on social media, taking videos of our cookies being made. There's deliveries that need to be made to our wholesale partners. So I'll be on the road just delivering cookies. And then there's days where I can kind of sit back a little bit more and do research, like what I was telling you earlier about just scrolling on competitor websites, or just reading books, listening to podcasts, doing things like that. So there's a little bit of everything. I'm trying to have a little bit more of a structured schedule going forward, and I think once the website goes live, it'll be a little bit more focus on creating advertisements. That's what I would love to do. So going forward, that's what I'd like to do. But you know, small business, so there's always things that need to be done, fires that need to be put out. So
Yeah, totally understandable, and I'm sure you're finding right now a bunch of people that can relate to that. Even
mhm.
at big companies, right? No 2 days are the same. Like I get this answer a lot, trust me, and it's just the nature of being in marketing and small companies, big companies. Just you have to wear different hats, and you have to go and do different things. But you're getting exposed to so much that you're learning so much. Also, that's I think it's. It could be a bad thing at times, but most of the times I think it's good, right? Because again, you're learning, you're experiencing things. So
Yeah, experience and learning is ultimately developing skills is what I want to do, which is why I even chose to work for this company. I guess I should have prefaced. My mom founded this company about 10 years ago. So her name is Tina Rexing, hence T-Rex. That's how the brand got its name. So I've been, aware of this company for almost half my life. And joining in the family business, I kind of made that decision, not getting paid as much probably as some of my peers, but I'm developing skills and learning so much, which is tremendously valuable.
I would agree. I mean, just the fact you're getting exposed to operations, that a bunch of other things, being in the family business, right? It's
Mhm.
invaluable, right? So it's dividends, right? Or just investing in a company,
Exactly.
right? In many ways.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Luke, we're towards the going into the back half of our episode here together, and before we wrap things up, I really like to jump into the rapid fire segment that we have. It's
Do it.
essentially just a few questions, nothing crazy really, but would you be ready for it?
Let's do it.
All right. So, what's the latest book that you picked up, and were there any ideas or gems really that stuck with you in it?
Okay, I'm gonna give two answers real quick. One is Dune, so nonfiction, or it's a fiction book, Dune. That's just to get my mind off of the day-to-day business.
Hmm.
I find it that sleep is very important, so kind of winding down at the end of the day with the fiction book has been honestly high ROI. The second is I'm reading a book called um, Know What Matters by Ron Shiach, I believe is how you pronounce it, the founder of Panera.
Hmm.
So Panera Bread. And that book has been super, super insightful, just into the mind of a CEO and someone who started something from scratch. And it kind of walks along the entire story of starting a small business and creating it into something great, which is exactly the path that I would like to bring T-Rex on. So just getting inside the mind of someone who's done it before is probably the biggest reason why that book has been valuable to me.
I love that. I love that. Any nonfiction in there? I mean, besides this, obviously.
Yeah, so there's also this one, $100 million Money Models by Alex Hormozy. I'm kind of flipping through all three of his books right now. So you've got Money Models, Offers, and Leads. And those books and Alex Hormozy, his content is just phenomenal. I I've been pushing my mom to kind of consume a little bit more of his content just to get his way of thinking around scaling business. And actually, coming up in April this year, we will be going to his workshop out in Vegas.
Hmm.
So it'll be a 2-day workshop, and it's essentially finding the main constraint of the business and hopefully helping us figure out how we can take it to the next level. So I'm really excited for that coming up.
Nice. Well, maybe we do another episode for the learnings, right? That sounds really exciting.
Yeah.
All right. If you had a magic wand, Luke, and you could fix one frustrating thing in your marketing life with tech, what would you pick?
If I had a magic wand, it's probably an extension of AI, using AI to create product photos in particular. I find that it hallucinates quite a bit, so there's a lot of tweaking. So if I just had a magic wand and I could just have it create exactly what was in my mind the first go around every time, that would save me hours every day. So instant, perfect execution of AI product photos and video would be something that I'm really looking forward to, and hopefully in the next 5 years we get there.
Well, I think even just before then, that at the rate that the AI is growing and progressing, but that's a good one. I really like that one. Um, what's one repetitive task that you love to put on autopilot forever?
Huh. Social media content, organic content. Again, it kind of requires a little bit of a magic wand, but taking product photos, taking videos, editing videos, posting them, captioning them, responding to comments, all of those things take so much time and they are extremely valuable, but it again feels very repetitive. And you kind of just hope that something goes viral. But yeah, posting organic social media content, I wish could just be fully automated while remaining authentic.
That would be the challenge, right? Doesn't turn
Exactly.
into slob. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. That's the
authentic.
tough part is
Yeah.
remaining.
All right. Well, Luke, thank you for the insights. As we wrap things up for the episode here, I want to thank you for being on the show with us today, of course. And I also want to give you the last word. If someone forgets everything about the interview today, what is the one thing that they should remember about the work you guys are doing at T-Rex Cookie?
Keep an eye out for us in the future. If you're a corporate client looking to gift some cookies, send us an email. You can find it on our new website, hopefully in about a month from now. But largely from T-Rex, this is going to be 2026, I think, is going to be a year of learning for us. And that's really what I really want to bring to our culture as a company. is always learning, always iterating, and being okay with making mistakes, as long as we actually learn from them. So internally as a culture, that's what we're really trying to build, and that's who we're trying to be. And yeah, hopefully, if we have the right inputs, that helps us get to a nationally recognized company someday.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be absolutely amazing. Luke, again, thank you for that. Thank you for the final wisdom right here. And if those corporate clients for corporate gifting want to check you guys out, where could they go?
Yeah, so they can check out trexcookie.com. There should be a little menu on the side that has corporate gifting on the side. Otherwise, you could probably just reach out to me directly, which is at luke@trexcookie.com. So Luke at trexcookie.com. Just send me an email and we can figure something out.
Amazing. Luke, thanks again for your insights and thank you for telling us more about T-Rex Cookie, about the way you think, about what you would do if you had a magic wand, right? Sounds like there's a lot of AI focused endeavors in the present and also in the future. But again, Luke, it was really insightful for us, and I wish you a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you, Rick. It's been a blast.
All right, bye everyone.